Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jason Gorman with Chris Weiler, Deke, and Ben Christensen. We are the rest of the field coming at you here for our weekend edition. Again, something special that we're trying to do, just a separate draft every weekend, and we're getting right into it with an animated TV show draft. It has to be a TV show, cannot be a movie. We're picking our 4 rounds like usual. It can be an adult television show. It can be a kids television show. It doesn't really matter. The parameters are pretty wide open in that sense. We did do a random draft order again, and this time Deke's headed up to the top of the class. Chris bumped down 1 position to number 2, and then it's rounded out by Ben and myself. We're going to do the snake draft like always. Do you guys have any questions before we get started with this?
Did Deke get to go first because you changed his name from Justin in previous drafts to Deke in this one? Is that why?
Last draft was changed.
He's still put in the same position. Okay. And I think it's just one of those things, like as soon as somebody doesn't know a lot about a certain topic, they're going to automatically get the first pick. So it just happened to be Deke, so there's no collusion. You didn't actually say you knew much about it until after the order came out. So I just assumed everybody kind of had decent knowledge of this, and I think we all do. It's just a matter of, checking the nostalgic files in our brains to find those old shows that we used to like. And, I can think of Deke and some of the voices that he's brought out in the past. And I think that might be one of his, maybe even the first pick. If we are, let's throw out a guess for the first pick, and I'll just put that out there. I would say Beavis and Butthead would be his first pick of this draft. Chris or Ben, what do you guys think?
I don't think that's going to be his first pick, but funnily enough, that's the first thing that popped out to me as well when I was kind of going through the list.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't. Now that you say it, I for sure kind of remember him being a fan of it, but I just don't think he'll do it for the first pick. So I'll see. I mean, it's too early. He's probably mad he got the first pick.
I feel like we watched that movie about 20 times. The Beavis and Butthead Do America movie.
Do you think you could throw one out there for us before we get started?
What, a Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah.
Oh, I am Cornelio. I need TP for my bunghole.
Do you have any TP?
Was that good?
For my bunghole?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, with that, we'll get right into it. I'll keep the screen. I'll keep editing it on my end, and then we'll kind of give an update to everybody after each round. So let's see. Let me get the proper screen up here. And Deke, if you're ready, you can start us off.
Awesome. So I'm very happy I have the first pick, first time ever. So I'm excited about it. Beavis and Butthead is a show that I absolutely loved. Did watch it, the movie with Ben, probably 25 plus times when we were young and doing nothing but sitting in a basement and drinking Busch Light. So that was fun. But my number 1 pick, again, I have to go with trying to take a victory away from these guys here and go with The Simpsons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the easy pick.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to get all the way to me, certainly in the last pick of the first round, but I think Simpsons it may not be everybody's favorite, but it's one of the most well-known in terms of animated. It's been around. I wouldn't even know what to guess in terms of seasons. Anybody know offhand how many seasons it's been around?
No clue.
I want to say 22 or 23.
I mean, you could have said 70, and I wouldn't be surprised because, they kind of do I think they may do the split seasons where there's an early, multiple seasons within a year. But either way, Simpsons, great pick, moves us right into the number 2 pick with Chris. What do you got?
Yeah, I think that was a unanimous decision if I had a guess, but it was between that and one other one for me, so I'm going to go with Family Guy.
Okay. Another great pick, kind of a staple, not as old as Simpsons, but I believe that's a still currently running series. So I can't go wrong with that one. I think this first round will be a lot of the mainstays in terms of the shows that we're all thinking. It'll be interesting in the later rounds to see what everybody comes up with. And with that, Ben, were you hoping Simpsons or Family Guy fell to you?
I figured those were going to be the top two. I thought Family Guy might maybe fall. I didn't know. Yeah, I kind of was thinking those two. I'm at a crossroads here if I should go with what I think is a well-loved show or if I go with something that means more to me personally.
Yeah, we have an interesting spot here because, and I don't know, Deke has already said that he doesn't necessarily watch a lot of animated shows. I don't know about Chris, but I know for sure you and I do watch a lot of them. And the fact that I am right behind you with back-to-back picks, and then I also have you in front of me and then right away behind me, is very interesting dynamic here in this draft because I feel like we're going to be trying to peel some away from each other.
Yeah. That doesn't help me with my pick at all.
Well, so you thought those two were going to go 1 and 2. You just said potentially. So you should have had
no idea
two.
what you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I have, like I said, I've got it narrowed down to 2. It's just pulling the trigger on one.
That had to be the whole debate the entire time. So.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm as torn now as I was yesterday. I'm gonna go with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yesterday already.
Yeah.
Whoa! Did we get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, that's my nostalgia pick.
Wow.
That used to be every Saturday morning, getting up at 5, 6 a.m. whatever it was when you were a kid. Maybe not that early, but it always seemed that early.
I'm gonna throw it in on the draft as TMNT.
Yep.
Even though that's more of a recent term for that show and those movies, that does encompass all versions of the show. Obviously, there were some previous versions of maybe when we were growing up, and then some more recent. So if anybody has a recent version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that they wanted to throw out there, it is off the board. Ben has them all. So interesting pick.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have made it back around to me. I'm guessing it probably would have, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think
that was not on my list.
No,
that wasn't on mine either, actually, and I did love the Turtles. So
so it's just an oversight.
I was more into the movie though of the Turtles than the animated.
Yeah,
right, sure. I actually like the original movies of the Turtles better than the animated ones, with the guys in the costumes and everything.
Mm-hmm.
As well.
The old school.
With Vanilla Ice in the first movie.
Yep.
It was in the second movie.
Oh, whatever.
Well, Jason's thinking about that. Like, my only point would be if you don't think Jason was going to take it ever, you could have waited for the Turtles because Deke and I probably wouldn't have taken it all the way back until round 3.
Yeah, but again, that's why I said it was a nostalgia pick for me.
So this was the one that meant a lot to you, and that's where I'm at now.
Yep.
With my first pick, I'm going to go with South Park. Not one that I necessarily love myself. I wasn't an avid South Park watcher. And let me throw up the board here so everybody can see where we're at. But I think, one that is probably near the top of any type of animated show rankings or things like that. So that rounds out our first round. And Deke taking The Simpsons, Chris with Family Guy, Ben with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just took South Park. And with that, kind of as we see the screen here with some other shows that are still available, I'm going to go with a show that I like, may not rank as high as some other options that I have available, and it is on that screen. I'm going to go with Archer, one that I really enjoy. I'm going to stop sharing the screen here so I can edit the field. But that starts round 2 with Archer. Anybody else an Archer fan?
I was into that in the early 2000s for like a summer when I worked third shift at Kohl's.
Oh, very specific.
Shout out to Kohl's. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I want to get some maybe some advertising for them in here.
Oh, sure.
But anyways, I would have like a break at, we work 11 to 7 in the breaks, it'd be 2 in the morning and 4 in the morning. And Archer was always on like marathons at that time in the middle of the night.
Yep.
So I'd put them on in the break room, and they were funny. So I sort of got into them then, but.
Yeah, kind of a drunken spy, kind of a James Bond that's always hammered type show. If you haven't seen it, I certainly recommend it. But that brings us back to Ben. So Ben, did I take either of the ones you were debating on?
Yes, South Park was my other top pick that I was hoping might fall. That's kind of what my top 2 picks were between. Like I said, I went nostalgia. So there it goes.
Now, what are you thinking with your second pick, the 6th pick overall?
So I am going to go with Rick and Morty on this one. I know it's a little bit more of a recent show, but I've really the first few times I watched it, I wasn't that into it, and then I rewatched them, and it's like an entertaining, higher end sort of adult cartoon to me. So I really like the way it's built, it's made up. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's a good one.
Yeah, there's a couple on there, Rick and Morty, one of them that I know a lot of people really like. I haven't watched, so maybe Rick and Morty could have been my second pick. I don't know if Archer would have made it back to me, which is why I essentially wanted to take Archer there. But I know people really like Rick and Morty. I just haven't seen it to know to where I felt comfortable taking it. But I know it ranks high and people talk about it well. So I think a solid number 2 pick. You probably could have reversed them, but it obviously didn't matter anyway. But that takes us to Chris, your second pick, 7th overall.
Definitely. I think it makes it kind of easy for me. I don't know about Deke, but those 4 really weren't. I mean, South Park was definitely up there, but I don't know much about Archer. Rick and Morty, haven't watched it, so kind of helps me out. So we'll go with I don't know if I'm jumping the gun on some of these, but I'll go with SpongeBob.
I don't think you're jumping the gun with SpongeBob. I think that
wasn't the one I was gonna jump. I didn't want to take Beavis and Butthead from Deke. It's just too obvious for.
Oh, I think you absolutely have to. You just gift wrapped one of his picks for him. I mean,
it's just I didn't watch.
Yeah, especially with the back-to-backs.
So it's like it's a guarantee. That's for him. I'm gonna let him take over. He gets his family vote anyway.
That might almost guarantee me the victory here on the vote.
Yeah, that's really gift wrapping it for him. So Deke, give me one pick and then I'll show the board again so everybody can recap where we're at.
Want to take Beavis and Butthead. So cool.
Oh my goodness.
Beavis and Butthead.
I got you. I was right there with you on that. There's the board. So second round went Archer, Rick and Morty, SpongeBob, and Beavis and Butthead. Deke's about to bring it back around with his third pick, the 9th overall, in our animated TV show draft. I think really the only shocker at this point is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. I think we were all kind of thinking, at least in my opinion, we're thinking more on the adult side of shows in terms of our listening audience. I don't necessarily think it's a bad pick. I just wasn't expecting it early. I thought all the early picks would be more the adult picks.
Yep, it may have been a reach, but
that's fine. You said
when
it was a nostalgic pick for you, so sometimes you got to reach to make sure you get them. But with that, we're going to start round 3. Deke, the 9th pick overall, your third pick. What are you going with?
I don't know. I do know that The Simpsons started in 1989 and they're in 30 seasons, I guess.
30.
Wow. Yeah, I am currently looking at options here to take.
This one's a little harder for all of our fans because Jason usually puts a little sugar on top for everybody and just sends us a list so we don't have to actually do any research. This time wasn't he must have had a busy day or something. He couldn't send us a list. So
there are a million animated TV shows, and I'm not going to make it easy for everybody by giving
a million shows, but only one winner. So you gotta really look into this.
Hey, it was a shout out to you, Jason. I appreciate those lists.
No,
So
I appreciate that. The
Save some
sugar on
time.
top. But yeah, I can't put all the icing on the cake for you guys every time. Gotta make
So
it do a
this
little bit
is
of work.
this is interesting because I have 3 picks that I'm not sure any of you will even remember any of them, and I'm not sure if one of them is actual show, like
what,
if
Tom and
it's like
Jerry?
a sitcom series or not. But it went periodically throughout the year, a show that would happen. But with that said, so then I'm thinking maybe that might come back around to my last pick, and then I could actually ask for a vote. But for now, I will go with an all-time classic, and will be the Flintstones.
Okay, so now we're starting to get back. This is where I kind of thought we would get into more of the kid shows, and I kind of lumped SpongeBob in with the adult shows, but there are some aspects of SpongeBob that are not necessarily always kid friendly. But now with the Flintstones, we're getting into the older shows, stuff we grew up on. Hey, if it was good enough to make an animated TV show into a movie, a real life movie, then I think decent pick.
One of the
Tim.
great
So-
opening songs too.
Also, any Michigan State fans, the Flintstones were also Charlie Bell, Mateen Cleaves, and Mo Peterson. Michigan State Spartans, late 90s, early 2000s.
Good callback.
All from
Yeah,
Flint,
unfortunately,
Michigan.
Flint, Michigan is usually in the news for other reasons now, but we won't go down that rabbit hole. So, Chris, 10th pick overall, your third pick, animated TV show draft. What are you going with?
So I know what I'm gonna pick. I think I do this all often, but I know what I'm gonna pick. But my favorite childhood show is still out there, and I'm nervous just because it's you and Ben coming back around, and if you guys obviously watched a lot of animated shows, and so I'm a little nervous on that. But my pick is Scooby Doo.
Oh, Ben is not happy.
That was one of
That
my
was-
3, Chris.
Yeah, Flintstones was definitely on my if it comes back around list kind of thing too, but that was up there.
Ben, you have do you have a Shaggy impersonation you could give us?
I love you, Reggie.
That's
Oh no, that's not Shaggy. That's Scooby Doo. Yeah, I do Scooby Doo. I don't do Shaggy.
You don't do Shaggy. Okay.
Nope,
Interesting.
don't. I focus on the main character that is Scooby Doo. I'm a dog person.
Very timely pick as Scooby-Doo, or I think the movie is called Scoob, was just released as kind of
Oh, it came out
one of those
yesterday, didn't
one of those early releases on Amazon Prime that you could watch. I think it was supposed to be in the theater right now. So a good pick, nostalgic pick, falls in line with the more of the children's shows, but I think we might have lost Ben there for a second. Not really sure.
I'm here. Sorry, I don't know why my image keeps cutting out.
Probably you're on your phone or something.
That could be.
Yeah.
So
Ben, this is your pick if you want to join us back on the pod so we can see you.
can you see me?
No.
We cannot.
Well, I can see you guys.
That's great.
You
cannot
got to get
see
off
you.
of your phone or whatever else
I'm-
you're on because that's pausing the
I'm not.
FaceTime part of this.
I'm not on my phone. That's.
Or your
How about
watch.
Oh,
Or your, yeah. There
Is
you
that
go.
There you
working?
are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties.
Maybe his Yankees picture fell down and he wanted to make sure that was always
Yeah.
in shot.
Maybe you had to
Still up.
water his plant.
I'm gonna go with Futurama for my next pick.
Dang it.
Another Matt Groening show.
Oh, don't throw out the people that
Sorry,
nobody knows.
The creator of The Simpsons.
So Ben does this when we're like going golfing, and he's like, "Hey, you want to go to this golf course? It's $80, pretty good deal." And I'm like, "What? Why would I want to pay $80?" Oh, it's a Jim Schwartzky course, and I'm like, "What does that mean?" And
I
who's
like
that
that
guy?
stuff.
Oh, he's like a famous golf course creator. I'm like, I don't care. I don't
It
care
means
at
it
all.
has sand traps, grass, and greens.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. But apparently, because this one guy created it, and it's this random golf course in Georgia, that we should now pay more money to go to that golf course.
Yeah. It was a Pete
Yeah.
Dye course, by the way, just for anybody who wanted to know.
Oh yes, Pete Dye, the famous Pete Dye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Pete.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess he's also dead.
Yeah, he just died recently here.
Oh,
I just want to point out that 2 of Ben's picks, I have no idea what those are. I've never even heard of them.
you never heard of Futurama?
No.
Okay.
Futurama, I was hoping would last to me. That was gonna be one of my picks.
Rick and Morty, I have no idea. No clue. Thought
Rick
that was
and
a couple
Morty's only
guys-
3 seasons, so you could watch that one pretty quick. Futurama's been out for a while, so I mean,
Sounds like just a couple guys down at the local bar. I'm not sure. Is it sort of like that or what?
No.
Oh, dang it.
But it is definitely adult in the things that they're going after, the storylines and jokes and things like that. I rounded out the 3rd round with Bob's Burgers. A lot of continuity there. The voice of Archer is also the voice of Bob in Bob's Burgers. So a lot of continuity between those 2 shows. Ben probably knows the director or, somebody who drew a line on the show, or
doesn't everybody?
Anyways. So that rounds out round 3. As you can see, we went Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, Futurama, Bob's Burgers. Looks like, well, Ben's got the Turtles in there, so I'm the only one that has yet to pick a kids show. Let me back up here. That is not what I meant to do. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. So I don't know. I think all the major adult shows in terms of the popular ones are gone. So I'm trying to think of what I want to go with. A lot of good ones out there in terms of shows we grew up on. Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, Doug. Right. And you got classics like just straight up Looney Tunes.
Jason, you remind me of the mean guy with the leather jacket in the show Doug.
The redhead?
Is it Skeeter?
Skeeter.
No, Skeeter was the friend, wasn't he?
Always attacking us on the show.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I got to keep you guys in check. So if that makes me the bad guy, then I'm the bad guy. You know what? There is one more. I don't know if it's as well liked, but there is one more show out there. The same creator of Family Guy. So I'm going to go with American Dad. Kind of rounds out my adult-only animated TV shows. So I don't get any nostalgic picks. So people who aren't into animated TV shows aren't probably going to know mine. But hopefully I can snag a few votes for those adult animated TV show watchers. So that rounds us back to Ben with his pick here in the trying to switch.
The odds are telling me I have no idea what this one's going to be.
No, I think you'll know this one. I was torn between.
Yeah, we're out of the newer shows, I think, and so I think it's going to be more nostalgic picks. So Ben, 14th pick overall. Your 4th pick, your last pick.
He-Man.
He-Man?
He-Man. And the Masters of the Universe.
All right. I'm not worrying about Ben's team. I'll tell you that.
You don't like He-Man? Well, you've never even heard of Futurama and Rick and Morty, so I guess I'm not super worried.
I know. I mean, I had the castle. I had all the figures. He was awesome, but I just wasn't expecting that.
No,
all.
It's another nostalgia pick. It was either that I was DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, maybe some Chip and Dales were also.
Chippendales.
Chip and Dales, Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. It's Chip and Dale.
Yeah, Chippendales is like a male entertainment group.
Sorry.
If you want to do you want that to be your last pick? Is a male strip club?
I want to point this out for all the viewers out there. Ben loves to go and watch Chippendales.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite Saturday Night Live skits.
Okay, sure, yeah. One of Ben's pastimes is watching reruns of Chippendales performances.
Yes.
Ben, would you like me to list that as He-Man or Masters of the Universe?
He-Man is fine.
So He-MAN.
Yeah. He-Man.
I don't think that's getting you many votes there.
No, that's all right.
All right, Chris, that takes us to your last pick, 15th overall. I'm guessing Ben didn't steal one from you there with He-Man. So what are you bringing up?
Definitely not. Jason definitely went with the adult shows, so you didn't really take much of mine either, but this was my childhood favorite, so I have to go with it, even though Rugrats is out there. And I do love that. We're going with DuckTales.
DuckTales. Now, I would argue one of the best, if not the best, songs. I could sing it word for word. I'm not going to.
Intro is amazing.
Yeah. The DuckTales
Can you just
song.
give us a woo?
Yeah. A little snippet, something.
Oh, Ben already knows it, so. Ben?
I don't know it.
No.
Just the boo.
Oh. On a woo. That's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely got to check it out. There's movies. There's also the sitcom TV show. It's one that I have my daughter currently watching. So
DuckTales and the
DuckTales
Treasure of the
is-
Lost Lamp is one of the best ones out there too. The animated movie.
yeah, DuckTales was a great movie. Scrooge
Yep.
McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, all the kiddos. I think there's a girl as
Launchpad
well.
McQuack.
Crash Pad.
Launchpad.
Crash. Is it Launchpad?
It's Launchpad.
I'm gonna fact check you while Deke's
That's
making
fine.
his last pick. He just always crashes, but so that's
Yes, he does.
Is it way up to me?
Yep.
We're up to
So
you.
can
I'm fact checking. Ben is
So-
correct. It is Launchpad. But he
Just
does always.
wondering, is Thunder Down Under on the Vegas Strip? Is that an animated show like Chippendales or no? All right.
I don't know, Ben.
No.
Did they animate that one yet?
I have no reference as far as the comic to the
Oh,
male
I
dance
just
club
thought
on that one.
we were throwing out Chippendales. I don't know, maybe it
Well-
was, but
No.
He's probably very loyal to Chippendales, so he doesn't even venture off into the other male strip clubs. He's got his favorite dancers that he likes to watch.
this is great. So, anyways, my pick is, and I'm a little shocked Ben didn't go with this. He went a lot of nostalgic picks. Looks like he has Mutant Ninja Turtles, He-Man, and then a couple of shows I have no idea what they are. But I'm gonna try to do an imitation here and see if anybody can guess it. So here goes. What the heck, Bobby? You got a D in English?
King of the Hill.
How'd you do that? You speak English. So I'm going with King of the Hill.
King of
That
the
was
Hill.
pretty good.
I don't- One of the first. I mean, with like Beavis and Butthead in terms of like adult. I always remember it being on later at night.
Mike Judge comic, same as the Beavis and Butthead creator, I believe.
The
That was for
same
you, Jason.
they're both on. The main character in King of the Hill is also on Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Ben is
Let's
way better
pull
with
this
the
up so
names.
everybody can see it. So that rounds everything out. Deke going with Simpsons, Beavis and Butthead, Flintstones, King of the Hill. Chris with Family Guy, SpongeBob, Scooby-Doo, DuckTales. Ben went with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rick and Morty, Futurama, and He-Man, the Masters of the Universe. And I went with South Park, Archer, Bob's Burgers, and American Dad. So we would love to hear what you guys have to think about this. If we left any off, I mean, we had mentioned a couple that didn't get picked. Doug, Rugrats, Rocco's Modern Life. Gosh, you could go Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. What was the Ren and Stimpy was one I remember growing up. Anybody else throw any honorable mentions out there?
Paw
I mean, the
Patrol,
Batman
Daniel Tiger.
comics.
Daniel Tiger. We're into Sonic now at our house. Sonic. and,
Thundercats.
Mickey
Thundercats.
Mouse Clubhouse.
Oh, hey, question. This is the one I was thinking of in my second pick. I didn't know if it was an actual sitcom. Was Charlie Brown?
I'm not sure. I would have given it to you. I certainly would have voted. I don't know that if it was a like a scheduled show, or if they just came out with
On the holidays,
The holiday specials.
When you started talking about that, and I guess I would put this one up there. I guess it was a show. It wasn't quite animated. It was claymation. Would you guys put Celebrity Deathmatch in to this field? That was one that was, right around our middle school age. They even had their own Super Bowl halftime show. It was during
that was an MTV thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that they brought that back too.
Did they really? It was always entertaining because they would make the little characters look like celebrities, and then they would fight to the death and rip limbs off and essentially kill each other. But the legendary referee, I don't remember what his name was, the bald guy who was always in the limelight in terms of being a boxing referee?
Michael Buffer?
But
I thought it was Michael Buffer, that the guy said, "Let's get ready to rumble," but maybe they had a couple different ones.
He's that guy. But the referee was bald. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look that up later. But that rounds everything out for us. So this was another weekend draft edition that we brought to you guys here. Let me get one last look at everybody's pretty face here before we round out the show. You can find us. Yeah, very nice, Ben. You can find us at @rest_field on Twitter. We'll put these results up, and then you guys will be able to vote on your teams, or the team or the squad, the lineup, whatever you want to call it, that looks the best to you in terms of the animated TV shows. We also have our Michael Jordan teammate draft, where we drafted our starting five essentially from teammates that played with Michael Jordan at any time in their careers, whether it was Jordan's Chicago Bulls or his Washington Wizards career. I believe Deke is currently the leader in the clubhouse in that draft, but it'll be up for a few more days. So you can certainly go on there and put your pick in and let us know what you think on Twitter. Starting to put out some more stuff on Instagram. You can find us at the Rest of the Field on there. And you're obviously watching this on our YouTube channel. So give us a subscribe, give us those likes, retweets, anything else that you can give us. Give us suggestions for a draft that you might want to see next week. We'll come back midweek and probably come up with a new draft. We're also going to recap. We're going to recap the Last Dance, which today is the last installment of that. And then we will probably also touch on the big golf event that will be coming up the following weekend, which is Tiger and Peyton Manning against Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. So they will be facing off. I'm not sure the format, if they've even released it yet, but we don't need to get into that now because we will talk about that on our show on either Wednesday or Thursday.
No love for the match today?
Yeah.
It's
put in some placement bets right now.
Yeah, I got 8 bets in on that already.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. But I think as this comes out, the match will be already started and going on. So if you know about it, you're already tuning into that current match that's going on today. Not as much publicity. So let me get this back up here. Can you guys see the board there? So the one last glance at the board. And with that, we will round out this show. So my name is Jason Gorman, with Chris Weiler, Deke, and Ben Christensen. You can find us at @rest_field, the Rest of the Field on Instagram. We are the Rest of the Field. Thanks for tuning in. We will catch you during the week. Thanks, and we are out.